All right, good morning and welcome to Sky Yoga. We're going to have an hour-long practice today, starting with a warm-up and then some conditioning for the core, back, and upper body. And then we'll be doing a warrior flow at the end. So to begin, find a comfortable seated position. It's nice to have your hips over your knees. So you might need to use a rolled up towel or block if you have one to elevate your hips. Finding that comfortable seated position, let your hands relax and rest. That can be on your legs or in your lap. Let your shoulders relax down. Lower your gaze toward the floor, and maybe if you feel comfortable with that, you can close your eyes. And just begin to focus on your breath. Just observing for now. Letting your whole body relax down. And then we'll try some breath control, pranayama. So we're going to inhale fully. Feel your entire rib cage expand like a balloon, front and back. And then just exhale naturally. And do this several times at your own pace. And then we're going to make the exhale as purposeful as the inhale. So inhaling fully and then exhaling with some force using your abs. You can stick your tongue out, that's an option. But really engage your core. If Ujjayi breath is part of your practice, you can use Ujjayi breath throughout. I can't while I speak, so. But anytime that you feel yourself breathing shallowly or breathing rapidly, try to come back to the calmness of this pranayama. So we'll begin the stretching now by dropping your chin to your chest. You can let your head hang or you can gently wobble side to side. And then enlarge that movement into a big half circle, rolling your chin shoulder to shoulder. Feeling the stretch in your neck and shoulders. And if that's going well, you can go for a full circle. If you've experienced any vertigo or dizziness recently, do not do the full circle. Stick with the half circle. And if you're doing the full circle, change direction. A crackling, gravelly sound is okay. Pain is not okay. So if any move pains you, hurts you, don't do it. Do something else. So we'll sit up nice and tall again and do some neck and shoulder stretches. I'll turn around to demonstrate. So first of all, we're going to lift the thumbs up high and squeeze your elbows gently backwards, stretching the shoulders, the upper arms. And then see if you can grab your elbows. If not, just go back to thumbs up. And then release. And with your right hand, grab your left wrist and we'll drop the ear down to the right. So you're trying to keep your torso upright and your shoulders level during this stretch. It's all about the left side of the neck and the left shoulder. Relax into it and breathe. And then sit up, loosen your shoulders a bit, and we'll go the other way. So using the left hand, grab the right wrist, left ear tilts down, torso stays upright. And then sit up straight again. We'll do some shoulder rolls. So inhaling up and exhaling down. And then change direction. Good. And now we'll start stretching the arms open, wide. Inhale, spread your fingers, reach up. And exhale, release down. If this is difficult on your shoulders, you can come up through the center. Inhale. And exhale back down through the center. One more time, either way. Stretch and release. And now we'll inhale up, join the palms, interlace your fingers and turn the palms to the ceiling. We'll pause here and gently rotate the torso. Look under your armpit. Good. And now we'll release on your next exhale, release one hand to the side and side bend. Keep your hips on the floor and keep your torso facing the front. And now we'll make circles. The size of the circle depends on how your shoulder feels. And change direction. And then sit up tall, arms wide, inhale. And we'll exhale in the other direction. Hips low, torso facing front. Feeling the stretch in the upper side. And then circle. And change direction. And then we'll sit up again, arms wide. Press with your thumbs up, press the backs of your hands toward each other for robin's breast, puffing out your chest feathers. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. And then give yourself a big hug, pulling the shoulder blades apart. And then we'll inhale up high once more. Exhale, one hand down between your shoulder blades, grab that elbow and pull gently backwards for a tricep stretch. If you're flexible and don't have shoulder issues, you can reach back behind and try to touch your fingertips. So one arm is high, one arm is low. Release from that, roll your shoulders a bit. And then we'll inhale high again. Drop the other hand down between your shoulder blades and either grab your elbow or reach behind and try to touch your fingertips. And then release and roll the shoulders. All right, we'll make our way to hands and knees now for cats and cows. So if you've been doing this with me, you know that I like to roll the cats and cows together. So we're starting from a neutral tabletop. We're going to arch the back up. Pause here and really feel the space opening up between your vertebrae. Push back, exhale fully, resting on your heels. And then bend your elbows and pull forward, tilting your hips up into cow. And then we'll cycle through that again several times with your breath. Exhaling back. Inhaling forward. Keep it rolling. Good. And then come back to a neutral tabletop. We'll do thread the needle for the shoulders. So from a tabletop, inhale the right arm high, and then exhale it down to the mat. And if this is uncomfortable for you, you can put your block or towel under your head or your shoulder. Your hands begin palm to palm, and then you stretch your left hand out as far as it will go, aiming to get your left elbow on top of your right wrist. And when you're fully extended with an exhale, wrap that arm around behind you. And then roll your right forearm along the floor. We'll unwind the left arm, press the palm down to push up. Inhale your right arm high. And exhale it down. We'll switch sides now. Inhale the left arm high. Exhale it to the floor, resting your head and your shoulder. Hands palm to palm. Stretch the right hand out as far as it will go. Tippy toe those fingers. Feel the stretch in your bottom shoulder, and then wrap that right arm around behind you. And roll your left forearm along the floor. Unwind the right arm, press up, inhale the left arm, and exhale it down. Good. Okay, the next stretch is for the legs, side kickstand, sorry. So extend your left leg straight back with a bent foot, a flexed foot. Swing it out to your side, and then we'll ease back to rest on your heel, stretching your arms out in front of you, and then coming down to rest on your forearms. And if it's difficult for you, you can put a bolster or a sofa cushion or something under your forearms. Extend your hand towards your ankle. We're going to relax the back of that extended leg, stretching towards your ankle. You can let your head hang if that's comfortable. Feeling the stretch in the hamstring. And then flip your toes up if you can and reach for your toes. If not, just keep reaching for the ankle. If you do have your toes, relax your ankle and get a stretch in the calf. And now release, make your way back up to tabletop, and we'll do the other side. So extend your right leg straight back, flexed foot, swing it out to your side, ease back to sit on your heels, rest on your forearms or your prop. Relax the extended leg. Reach for your ankle. And then the option to grab your toes. If you're doing so, relax your ankle. And then we'll make our way back up to tabletop for the best part of the warm-up, drunken cow. So you're in your tabletop position, hands and knees roughly the same width apart, and we're just going to swirl the whole body around in a big circle. Come way forward, push way back. And then change direction. And then we'll do an ab stretch, swinging forward, hips down. You can do this with upright arms, or if it's rough on your low back, come down to your elbows. And let your abs stretch. You can sway your torso gently to encourage that. And then straightening your arms again, feet wide, knees wide, big toes touch. And then arms straight ahead for child's pose. Pushing your butt back towards your heels. You can use your hands to push back and stretch your arms. And come back up to tabletop. Okay, so we'll do a series of core moves. You can grab some water now if that would be helpful. Core conditioning moves based on pointer pose. So if at any point a pose is too difficult for you, go back and do something that was doable for you. Also, some of these poses involve both an arm and a leg. So if you're having difficulty doing them both, just do one. Just focus on keeping the arm straight or keeping the leg straight. So we'll start with basic pointer. Extend your left leg straight back with a flexed foot and level off your hips. Your left hip wants to be higher than the right. Bring it down. That will engage your core. And then lift your right arm and breathe. Now we're going to bend your left leg so your foot comes towards your body and then reach around and grab that foot. It's a balance challenge. I almost fell. It's a balance challenge. So pulling up on your knee, we're going to stretch your left quad. And then release down. Anytime you're on hands and knees, you can waggle your hips for a little low back relief. Also, if you're starting to feel too much pressure on your knees, put that towel or blanket under your knees. Same thing for your wrists. We're going to extend the right leg now, the flexed foot, level hips, left arm, and breathe. And then bending the foot towards you, reach for it, lift, stretching the right quad. And release down, maybe a little hip waggle. So we're going to add on to that now with pendulum pose. So basic pointer pose, making sure that your joints are stacked, hips over knees, shoulders over elbows over wrists. Lift the left leg straight back, level hip. Lift the right arm. And now we're going to inhale, swinging both limbs out to the side, keep them straight, and swing back to center with an exhale. Inhale to the side, exhale back to center. Inhale, exhale 3, inhale, exhale 4, last one, exhale, good job, come down, and switch sides, right leg, level hips, left arm, inhale to the side, exhale back to center, inhale, exhale, inhale, 3, in, 4, inhale, last one, come down and wag your tail. If your neck gets sore in this series, just look down at the mat instead of looking up if you're able. All right, now we'll do boxes. Ooh, these are tough. So from your tabletop positions, joints stacked, left leg, right arm, we're gonna draw here. Make it so you can see my hand, there we go. we're going to draw boxes. So both limbs go out, down, in, and up. Out, down, in, up 2. Out, down, in 3, 4, 5, halfway there. 6, 7, 8, 9, last one. Good job. So this is definitely one of those exercises where if it's difficult for you to focus on arm and leg, having correct form, just do correct form with one limb. We'll do the other side now. Right leg, left arm, drawing boxes. Out, down, in, and up. Out, down, in, up 2. Out, down, in 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2 more, 9, last one. Good job. All right, you can take a rest pose if you like. You can come forward into the ab stretch or push back into child's pose as needed. And our last pointer pose variation is Firebird, which is a crunch. So coming to your tabletop position, we're going to extend the left leg. Try not to kick your water bottle. Extend the left leg, lift the right arm. On the exhale, we're going to bring elbow to knee. And on the inhale, reach long. Reach. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one. Good job. Switching sides, right leg, left arm, on the exhale, elbow to knee. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one. Good job. Let's come all the way down on the belly for an ab stretch. Anytime you're on your belly, you can lift your lower legs and swirl them around like windshield wipers or in big circles for some low back relief. Feeling your abs relax. All right. Now we're going to do low plank. Stack your shoulders over your elbows. Legs are parallel. We're going to lift up onto the balls of the feet and lift into low plank. Notice the hips are not high. They're not on the floor. They're right in the middle in line with your shoulders and ankles. Breathe. And release down. Again, you can lift your lower legs if you like. Now we're going to come all the way down with your hands on either side of your chest, elbows straight up and down, and legs parallel. This is yoga push-ups for the triceps. So lifting up, arms straight. Notice how the insides of my elbows are turned forward. If you want these to be harder, you can lift your knees off the mat and then lower down. Lift and lower. That's 2. Up. 3. Up. 4. 5. 6. 7. 8. Just 2 more. 9. Last one, good job. Let's open the knees wide, come back into child's pose, and then bring the palms of your hands to the back of your neck or tricep stretch. And then we'll come back up to tabletop for high plank. We start with low plank because I find it harder. So here we are, ready for high plank, shoulders over wrists. Step both legs back and bring those hips down in line with your shoulders and ankles. So not high, not low, right in the middle, using your abs and breathe. And then drop your knees for a quick rest. You can push back and stretch your arms if you like. And then for high plank variation today, I think we did three-legged plank last week. Let's do knee drops. So coming into your high plank, just bend your knees, touch them to the mat and lift. Touch down and lift. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Last one, good job. Let's sit back on the heels and stretch the forearms and wrists. So sitting on your heels, flip your palms out, bring them down to the mat with your fingertips pointing at your knees. You may or may not be able to sit on your butt here, but get your palms flat. And if you like, you can add a gentle circle here. And if you're circling, change direction. Be gentle with your body weight. Your elbows are inside out. They're not used to that. And then sit back and shake it out. We're going to come to our bellies now for some back strengthening exercises. So all the way down. If you have a weak back, I recommend you place the backs of your hands on your low back. This is the strip of muscle we're focusing on between the rib cage and the pelvis. If you're stronger, you can have your hands out to your sides. We're going to inhale just the torso up and exhale down. And check that the muscles you feel working are the ones right under the backs of your hands. Inhale up, exhale 2. In 3. Inhale 4. In 5. Inhale 6. In 7. Inhale 8. In 9. Last one, and down. You can swirl your lower legs around if that feels good to you. We're going to add in the lower body. And if you find this challenging, just focus on the lower body. We're going to keep the legs straight, get the knees off the floor. If you're feeling a little stronger, you can do both at once. So inhale up and exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. Try not to use the glutes too much. That's a 3. In 4. Inhale 5. In 6. Inhale 7. In 8. Inhale 9. For this last one, stay up, breathe. Hold the pose, not your breath. Feel your low back working and release. Lower leg swirl if you like. All right, and for this next one, we're going swimming. So arms are out in front of you, and the tops of your feet may be smacking the floor, so you might want something under them. If you're stronger, you can just hover your feet. And that'll work your quads as well as your abs. So lift one arm, the opposite leg, and switch. We're swimming. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, last one. Good job. Let's push back into child's pose. I realize I just said abs, I meant back. And stretch into child's pose. Let's do a little side bend here. So walk your arms over to the right, lining up your torso with your right thigh. Breathe. And then over to the left. And back to center. And swing around to your backside. Great time for a water break. We're going to do one more core exercise, then some stretching and warriors. So balancing on your rear end. This is boat pose. Lift your shins up parallel to the floor. If this is new or challenging for you, I'd like you to place a block so that your feet can rest and come back into the pose and rest and come back into the pose. If you've been doing this a while, you know what's coming. Actually, we'll row the boat today. So shins parallel to the floor. I think holding them together is easier. Holding them apart is harder. We're going to row the boat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, last one. Good job. And I'm pretty sure that's more like a kayak than a boat, but that's okay. Hug your knees, sit up straight, look over your shoulders. And we'll come down to the back for some back stretches. So lying all the way down, hug your knees to your chest and rock gently side to side. And then place your hands on your knees. Keep them together and guide them in big circles. So you pull them in, you push them out. And then change direction. And then lift your feet with your soles parallel to the ceiling. Grab your feet, your ankles, your shins, whatever you can reach, and we'll rock side to side in happy baby. The goal is to get your thigh to the floor and get back up again. Pulling the feet wide apart. Feel the floor roll against your mid-back. And then bring the soles of your feet together for Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined cobbler's pose. Pull your feet in, push your knees away. Stretching the inner thighs. And then release your feet down. The soles stay together. But now your low back arches off the floor and you can rock your pelvis or flap your butterfly wings. Anything that feels good. And then bring your feet together, roll to one side and push up to seated. We're going to slowly make our way to standing for those warriors I promised. So with your feet in front of you and your hands behind, see if you can lift up into a low squat. You're using your upper arms to push your knees apart. And you can gently sway side to side here, opening up your hip joints. And if this is easy for you, try knuckle to knuckle, a little more stretch. And then we'll drop the hands and slowly lift the hips, straighten the legs into forward fold. So your feet come parallel under your hips and you're just hanging forward. If this is uncomfortable for you, you can have your prop, something in front of you to place your hands on. Grab your elbows and sway a bit. We're stretching the backs of the legs. And then release and roll up to standing. Take your time and roll your shoulders back when you get to the top. Okay, we're gonna do warriors. So if you're interested in warrior 3, the one-legged balance at the end, you might want to prop about arm's length in front of you. So we're gonna stand near the top of the mat with your feet parallel, chest lifted, shoulders relaxed, and step your right foot back so that your left knee is over your left ankle and your back leg is straight. You're gonna feel a stretch in your back leg. Your toe can be pointed at an angle away from your front foot. And sink down into your stance. Rotate the hips to the front. You may have to open out your feet a little bit, scoot your left foot to the left to get a little more space in between your feet to feel balanced here. Pushing your right heel down, hips to the front. We're gonna lift the arms high for warrior 1. Sink into your stance and breathe. Now the right arm comes back and the left arm comes down. And you may be able to extend your stance a little bit here. Still keeping your left knee over your left ankle. Arms wide and straight, level. This is warrior 2, breathe. Now we're going to drop the back hand, lift the front hand for reverse warrior. It's a side bend. Sink down into both feet. And then level out the arms again. This time rotating the hips to the front. We're going to bring the arms behind you. Clasp your hands if you're able. And lower your torso down to your thigh for humble warrior. Rest your upper body weight on your left thigh. Lift your arms high. Breathe. This is a great stretch for the low back. And then drop your hands to the mat, framing your foot. Flip your back heel up off the mat and sink down into a low lunge. Feel the stretch in your right quad. And then bring your right foot up and slowly roll up to standing. Rolling your shoulders back. If you're wondering about that one-legged balance pose with the block, that's in the second round. We're going to do the first round without it, and then we'll do a second round with it. So now we're going to step the left foot back. Right knee is over your right ankle. Left toes are pointed at an angle. Feel a stretch in the back of your left leg. Sink into your stance. Make sure your hips are facing the front. And for me, that means moving my right foot to the right. So there's space between my feet. And then lift the arms high for warrior 1. Breathe. Sink into your stance. Feel your weight evenly distributed between your feet. And then we're going to open wide into warrior 2. Now the hips are facing the side. Arms are level. Stance might widen just a bit. Back leg is still straight. Drop the back hand, lift high for the side bend of reverse warrior. Coming back to warrior two, rotating back to the front, hips face front, arms join behind you. Lower your torso down for humble warrior, relaxing your lower back. And then drop your hands to frame your foot. Sink down into your low lunge. That means your left heel comes off the mat. And then step your left foot up and slowly roll to standing. Use your abs as you roll up to standing. When you get to the top, take a big breath, roll your shoulders back. So now we'll do that sequence again, and we'll add on that one-legged balance at the end. So you might want to prop for that, about arm's length in front of your feet. Feet parallel, step your right foot back. Left knee over left ankle. Right toes pointing at an angle. Hips to the front, arms high. Warrior one, breathe. Really drive your weight into both heels. Opening up, warrior two, hips to the side, arms level. Drop the back hand, reverse warrior. Back to warrior two, rotate to the front, arms behind, humble warrior. And now if you're going to try warrior three, place your hands on your block. You're going to shift your weight into your front leg, your left foot, and gently hop your right foot forward until you can lift it off the floor. You're straightening your left leg, all your weight is in your left leg. And you're trying to make your body into a big capital T. Bringing your arms to heart center is the easiest variation here. Once you get your balance, you may be able to open your arms out into airplane wings or stretch them out in front of you. I'll move back so you can see. So variation one, hands to heart center. Medium hard, airplane wings. Classic pose, warrior three, arms out in front like Superman, and breathe. Wherever you are, come down with dignity. Well done. So let's shake everything out. You find your back and core do a lot of work during a standing pose, a one-legged balance pose. And now we'll go the other direction. You're almost at the end. You're doing great. Feet parallel, stepping the left foot back. Right knee over your right ankle. Rotate the hips to the front. Press down between, distributing weight between both heels. Lift the arms high. Warrior one. Sink into it and breathe. Open the arms, turning the hips sideways. Warrior two. Keeping the knee over the ankle. Dropping the back arm, reverse warrior. I'm really feeling a stretch here in the left inner thigh. Back through warrior two, rotate to the front, arms behind, humble warrior. Let your low back relax. And then we'll try warrior three, hands to your support. Hopping your left foot up as you gently straighten your front leg until you feel you can lift your left foot off the floor Take your time. And when you get there, hands to heart center. Hop back a bit. There we go. Hands to heart center. If you get your balance there, airplane wings. And if you get your balance there, full warrior three. Feel like Superman, you're flying high. Breathe. And come down with dignity. Well done, you made it. Woo, shake it out. Wiggle your hips. And we'll come down to the mat for a couple of stretches before Shavasana. So make your way down, grab water if you need to. We'll start with the knee hug again, hugging the knees and rocking. And we'll add a twist this time. So extend your right leg, just let it relax. Hug your left knee tight. And then with your right hand, pull your left knee across your body. Your left foot is gonna hook behind your right thigh. So pulling your left knee toward the floor, and then look away from it over your left shoulder. I call this wet wash rag. Bring yourself out. Full spinal twist. Breathe. And then gently roll back to center. Hug the left knee in again. Check in with your low back. Let it be relaxed on the floor. And then we're going to grab your left shin in your left hand and open it out like a wing or a book. And now your low back may pop off the floor in an arch. That's okay. Relax into this. Maybe you feel a stretch in your right front hip flexor. And then hug that knee in again. Hug your right knee in. Rock a little bit. And we'll do the other side. I'll switch position. All right, so now we're hugging the right knee in. Hug it tight. Feel the stretch in your low back. And then take the right knee in your left hand. You're going to tuck your right foot behind your left thigh and pull your right knee towards the floor, looking away from it over your right shoulder. I'm really feeling this in the outer right hip, as well as all through the spine. Let your left leg relax. Wring out the washcloth. And then we'll come back, hug the knee again, and bringing your right hand to your right shin, open out. Hug it back in and then extend fully. Take a big, long, full body stretch, reaching overhead. And then kick your left leg out, cross your right ankle over it, and with your left hand, grab your right wrist. We're arching into banana. Yeah, beautiful morning stretch. And then coming back to your long full body stretch. Feel it in your abs. And now kick your right foot out, cross your left ankle over it. With your right hand, grab your left wrist and arc the other way. Always breathing. Deep, steady breath. Uncrossing your ankles, coming back to center. Big, long, full body stretch. Stretch your fingers, stretch your toes. Bring your arms to your sides. Maybe widen your feet a bit. Let them relax side to side. And you're ready for Shavasana. So if you need support for your low back during Shavasana, bring your feet up close to your body and then let your knees collapse inward to rest against each other. And that will take the weight off of your low back. So once you're in your Shavasana position, close your eyes and begin to relax from head to toe. Relax your scalp. Relax your forehead. If your eyebrows meet in the center of your face, let them drift apart. Let your eyes relax. Let all the tiny muscles around your eyes relax. Let your jaw relax. And let that big muscle in your mouth, your tongue, relax. Let your whole face be soft. Let your neck relax. And let the inside of your throat relax. Feel the breath passing smoothly through your throat. Let your shoulders sink back into the mat. Imagine the heels of my hands gently pressing your shoulders down into the mat. And let that feeling of softness flow through your arms, upper arms, elbows, forearms, wrists, pooling in your soft open palms, and finally reaching the tips of your fingers. Feel your arms are soft. Let your rib cage melt down into the mat. Let your navel sink towards your spine. Let your pelvis melt into the mat. Feel how your whole torso is soft. And let that same feeling flow through your limbs, your thighs, your hamstrings, your knees, calves, ankles, sweeping through the arches of your feet to the tips of your toes. Your legs are soft. Your whole body is a sponge right now, soaking up the benefits of your practice. And all you have to do is lie here and breathe naturally. Begin to deepen your breath, directing your breath through your limbs to your fingers and toes, and let them wiggle back to life, very gently restarting your circulation. And then expand that movement to include your wrists and ankles, rolling your neck and head. And then do something nice for your back. It's hard to lie on the floor. So you can take a full length, full body stretch. You can hug your knees to your chest. Whatever your back would appreciate. And then roll to one side. The right side is traditional. Resting your head on your arm. We think about new beginnings here. We're in the paradoxical season of Denver spring. So I hope you enjoy sun today and are prepared for snow tomorrow. But I'm just thinking about all the new beginnings out there, all the flowers and buds and beautiful harbingers of spring. And when you're ready, push up to seated. Thank you all so much for joining me today. Namaste.